You may think you're the only one in that addiction, but in fact, way more people are involved, and all there is that they're just good at hiding it. And it's not because there's a lot of people that are doing it that it's good, right? So let's discuss that further. But right before that, who am I? My name is Wesley, and my mission is to help young men, especially young entrepreneurs, with their porn addiction. Right now, my bigger, purposeful mission is to help prevent 100 men from killing themselves due to porn addiction. These are my type of videos, and if that interests you, make sure you subscribe. When you wake up in the morning, how do you feel? Do you feel like you're tired, you could sleep 3 to 4 hours more? Or you feel energized, you go straight out of the bed, and you're ready to start the journey and accomplish big things today? If, in most cases, you feel really tired, you stay on your bed, you go on your phone, you start scrolling, and you don't feel like you can achieve a lot of things today, right? Also, you don't feel the pleasure of little things such as talking with someone or just simply approaching other people, and you want to change that? First link down in the description. On that, let's continue directly with the video. Would you believe me if I said to you that 28,000 users are watching porn every second? A study revealed that nearly 64% of young men ages between 18 and 30 are actively seeking out porn on a weekly basis, with 21% admitting that they're doing it daily, every day. That's like big numbers, right? If you imagine the whole population, 64% of the whole population. And that's a study that dates a bit, but it was still a study, right? 64% and 21% of these people admitting that they're doing it every day. That's just them admitting, right? There's people that doesn't admit because they don't want to, right? That's crazy. And do you know that 86% of divorces, so more than half of the reason for divorce, is that one of the two person were obsessively interested in porn. It's not the whole reason that they're divorcing, but it's the case. Like, they're divorcing for maybe another reason, but one of the two parties were heavily obsessed over porn. That's crazy. More than half of the divorces. So now that I just said to you all these big numbers, I want to explain to you why it's so popular and what makes it so popular, right? If you just think about your everyday uses, you go on Instagram, for example, you scroll for like 5 minutes and you just see a video of a half naked woman, like just showing bits of her tits and butt, shaking her butt to the camera and everything, and that's considered as soft porn. And it's so present in media that it makes you kind of used to saying it, to seeing it. So that's like normalizing it. And also, because of society, you have this big feeling that everything is always stressful. Everything that you're going to do in life is stress, and that's a good way for you to remove that stress is to go and fap. And that's something fucked up, right? In order for you to, you suppose that in order for you to manage well your stress, you have to fap yourself on random pixels you saw on your phone. And if you don't do it, you're even more stressed. So just by me saying that, it have to make you realize that it doesn't solve your problem, it only adds up to your problem. If you wouldn't have fapping in your life, like your porn addiction, you will have less stress in your life overall, because when you're not fapping for like 2 to 3 days, you have so much more stress in your life, right? And I know that you know what I'm saying right now. If you don't fap for a whole week, you will have a lot of stress. And that's not the stress that you have in your everyday life. It's the stress because you're not fapping. So when you're fapping, the only stress that it removes is the stress that it created in the first place. So you're only removing this stress, and it's for like the 1 hour after you just fapped and came. And 1 hour after that, all your stress comes back, and you have the stress that you're not fapping. That adds up and adds up and adds up until tomorrow when you're going to fap again. So porn doesn't even resolve that stress problem of yours, but the way they advertise it is so great that you think it actually helps you. And so every time that you feel stressed, the first answer that comes to your mind is, oh, I will just go and fap, this will relax me, and I won't be stressed anymore. Even though that's really not how it works, and in the end you're even more stressed than if you didn't do it. That's fucked up, right? There's another big issue, is the accessibility. When you go on any site, but I'll take the PH as the big one, you go on it, you click on the site, all you have to do to confirm and watch videos is clicking on the 18 or older. That's it. So even like if you're 11, you just close your eyes, you click on the 18 and you're alright. You're confirmed as an 18 and plus user. That's crazy. So like it's so accessible and it's on everything that has internet. You have it on your phone, you have it on iPad, you have it on PC, you have it like literally on anything. And we all know that almost every people right now has a phone or has access to the internet, even young ones. They have access to their parents' phone and things like that also. So think about it, how accessible is it? And the fact that they can use it without even being 18. That's like, imagine starting your addiction at 10. That's crazy. Also, I found another fact that was really correlated with what I'm just talking, which is the easy access. The average age of first exposure to pornography is 11 years old. So in average, 11 years old is the first time you're seeing porn in your life. And 90% of children between the age of 8 to 16, 90%, like it's really, really big, like 9 and 10, having viewed explicit content online in that age. So there's someone at 8, like in the 90% of people, there's 8 years olds that are on their phone, or maybe the phone of their parents, and are seeing explicit content, like porn and nudity and everything. At 8, what I was doing at 8 was going to school. I was like in 2nd grade, and I was playing with toys and everything, right? There's people that are seeing other naked women online at this same age. That's crazy. There's a big mental health correlations also. You have big relationship issues if you're fapping to porn while you're in your relationship, or you may even have problems creating in the first place your relationship because you're not that attracted to the woman that you're meeting, because every day you're fapping to super beautiful with big butts and big boobs women online and everything. So what's the point of finding real love, right? You gonna feel the anxiety and depression also because you receive so much dopamine from that activity that your brain thinks other activities will bring the same kind of dopamine as porn. But porn is so high that every other activities you do doesn't bring enough dopamine for you to consider it as a cool activities. So you kind of find it boring. And what do you find boring? Everything. You go on your computer, you have to work. Usually it would be cool, right? Me recording these videos, I feel great recording these videos, and I laugh at myself and everything while recording and editing the videos. But normal people, when because they have their porn addiction, they used to have big dopamine hits. When they have to record these videos, they feel like, oh, I'm obligated to do it, I feel so bored and everything, and oh, I just do it fast and get rid of it so I can go and fap more. Compare that with me, who's right now is like, sometimes I'm cutting the part of the video because I'm laughing too much and there's no point in me in the video laughing at that moment. And when I'm editing, I'm laughing at certain things that I said, and I'm kind of relearning what I just said. Like, I don't know, it's not just the same vibe, but because you have so much dopamine coming from porn, it makes it so that when you're talking with someone, for example, you're talking with your wife, it makes it boring. You don't feel pleasure, you don't feel joy talking with your girl because it's not exciting, right? There is nothing that happens. They're just you, and you have to use your brain to think of a solution and things like that. And what happened in that time? You're just escaping, right? You're kind of going around the conversation and going to do other things. You don't want to talk because it's boring. And that's just for talking. Let's also talk about good habit. Do you go to the gym? Do you meditate? Do you read? Probably not, right? But if you try it just once, you'll see that you will find it really boring, because what's that compared to porn that hijacks your brain, right? And brings up so much dopamine. I think it's like 200 to 250% of the levels of dopamine that you need. So that's really, really big. When you have this line of dopamine, it's like a big thing of dopamine that happens one shot. And because of that, everything that has lower dopamine than that, you will find it boring. And imagine that's just like for once, but imagine you're doing it on a daily basis. So every day, because you're doing this, your brain is used to receive that much dopamine. So now, in order for you to become happy, you have to have this level of dopamine. But the only thing that can bring you to this such high level of dopamine, it's unhealthy at this point, is porn. So in your brain, you have to consume porn in order for you to be happy, because you consume so much that now your brain can't think of a way to be happy without you consuming more. And that's what starts the addiction. Being and wanting to be happy is a normal thing in life. Everyone wants to be happy. But because you use so much of your happiness and so much porn, now your happiness can't be achieved if you don't continue your addiction, which is crazy. And the most crazy part in that is that if you would stop for like a month, you would see that you would find joy in everything. Right now, when I meditate, I feel happy. And meditation is not even like that big of a deal. I'm just sitting, closing my eyes and breathing and concentrating myself on my breath. And that's not like crazy, right? But I feel happy doing it. When I walk outside, I meet new people, I feel happy. This is new connection, this is new person. They're also living their lives. And I'm kind of learning about them. Like, that's crazy. I'm doing so much thing that makes me feel like fulfilled and happy, that when I think about myself when I was addicted, I kind of see directly the difference of my joy. Before, the way for me to be happy was to watch porn and fap, but now I'm feeling happy just doing random things in life. And that makes it way more easier to live my life, and way more easier to achieve big things. I find joy in working, like doing these videos and everything. Whereas other people that have this porn addiction, as I said before, think of creating a video, for example, as a kind of job, and it's boring and everything. Also, your porn addiction brings a lot of loneliness. You're feeling, you have to isolate yourself. You do it on the bathroom with the door closed, you're erasing the tabs, you're not talking about it with anyone, right? You're keeping it all to yourself. And this addiction removes yourself from creating relationships with others. You don't want to approach anyone, you don't want to talk with other people, because you have this shame, you have this guilt inside of you. So you don't feel like approaching anyone. And this brings your self-confidence down. And interestingly, loneliness, depression, and anxiety is like leading causes of suicide. Like, the only one that porn doesn't bring you is gambling addiction. The gambling addiction is the biggest suicide reason. Apart of that, you have like almost everything that brings suicide into porn addiction. But because people are so addicted, they do not think of it, and they kind of associate with the same thing that happens when you smoke cigarettes, right? When you smoke, oh, you can have cancer, but who am I to get cancer, and things like that. So it's kind of so much normalized that you're not really thinking about the bad consequences, because you feel like if you stop right now, you won't ever be happy again in your life. And that's like sad, but that's really what's keeping you addicted. It's because you think that if you stop now, you won't be happy, and you fear the fact that other people that are still addicted are going to be more happy than you. But that's really not what's happening. And the point is that you have to be convinced that it's really what's going to happen. You're going to be happier and have less stressful moments in your life and everything if you stop this porn addiction than if you continue and creating more and more problems with it. But in order to do that, you have to trust yourself and trust another person that will help you in this journey. And it takes up a lot of courage and a lot of will to do it. And that's really not everyone that has that. So that's why I'm making these videos. I'm trying to find a person that is really serious on their journey and that all their needs in order for them to succeed is to find someone serious and concentrated to help them. And that's why I'm making these videos. That's like someone that I would have wanted to meet when I was trying to quit. It would have made it so much easier for me to go straight at the end of the journey and finally be free. I would have been free maybe 1 year faster. So that's why I'm really making these videos. Also, as I said before, seeing it as much in the social media, desensitize yourself and make it like normal. And if you're older, like 30, 40, you kind of get it, but like when you're younger, like 18, 19, and you kind of see random girl dancing on your For You page every day, it's kind of creating in your mind that, oh, it's normal, it's just things that happen, right? It's just like me falling from the bike. So there's just girl that likes to dance, and because you're seeing it that much, soft porn, so girls shaking their butts and everything to music, because you're seeing it that much, it makes porn seems as harmless. It makes it seems as if it's just okay and it's part of things. And that's what started my addiction when I was way younger, because I thought it was just normal. Everyone around me, like pseudo friends, they weren't my friend, but like I was knowing them, right? And they were always talking about this, and I just thought to myself like, oh, it's a normal thing to do. Everybody does it, and there's nothing worse. Not nothing worse. There's nothing bad that can happen from that. So that was my initial thought, and that brings me to starting this addiction. And if I knew that it was going to be an addiction, I would have never started, right? I would have stopped at the start. And the problem that I see is that people don't, before starting this addiction, they don't know the consequences of it. They just know that, oh, if I start, I may feel great. And at first it all starts with, oh, you just want to see for yourself and see what's about it because everyone is talking about it. But when you do it your first time, you see, oh, that's like, I never saw that before, right? This kind of pleasure. And now you kind of do it like once a week, and after it's like twice a week, and after it's like 5 times a week, after it's every day. And now you're stuck with it, and now because you're doing it every day, it's kind of really hard to quit. But if right before having to discover what is porn and everything, you would have known that, oh, you can have this and erectile dysfunction, and you can have depression, and you can kill yourself and everything, would you have started? Me, for myself, I really think I wouldn't. And like people would just present me like photos and videos random of porn that they found, and I wouldn't even laugh about it. But I knew that I would have known that if I knew all at this time all the bad consequences that could happen, I would have not started this addiction. And that's something that I want to try to create, is to put more action in place so that people don't start this addiction, because once you start, it's hard to quit. And that's why I'm actually offering help to quit, because it's really hard. If it was so easy, I wouldn't be here making this much video and talking about it every time and all, right? It's because it's really hard, and I know that it's hard, but I know how to quit. So I'm making these videos so that people can quit because of them and because of me, faster and way more efficient. Funny enough, you will ask any father that is in the addiction of porn if he would recommend it to his son or his child, any child, and he will say no, like absolutely no. So why continue this addiction ourselves? What example are we for our children and family? What example do we want to show them? On that, take care of yourself.